instead of you writing your own melody, I'm going to give you a melody. You're going to bring that melody into flat, and then we're going to label it up. And what's going to be kind of nice is, because this is a real song, we just spent almost an hour on the song so far. We've looked at the chords. We can, we can really look at it. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go through the steps right here. Number 1, we're going to log into music first. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Log into music first. But I should pop this up at the top here so you guys can find my bookmarks a little easier. Okay, so I'm going to go down to music first. You guys remember your password. I hope you guys are saving your password, by the way. You don't have to follow along perfectly with me right now. And then you're going to go to software to flat. We're going to use flat today. Okay. And I'm going to go back to the assignment so I can follow along. Okay. And I'm opening up flat. Remember this one? This is the one where we write out our notes. And then number 2, it says download the MIDI below. I don't recommend, by the way, that you guys go exactly along with me. I just want you to watch right now. So just watch. So look at this. It says blindinglights.mid. This is what's called a MIDI file. It's a little tiny file. And inside this file are the notes for what we're doing. So I'm going to click on that. It says your browser's unable to play. You may have to go up here. Oh, look at this. Wow, mine says open and flat. That's really interesting. Another way you can do it, you might have to right click on it, maybe like download it in one way or another. I didn't realize that this is going to be such a pain. Actually, can you guys, I just realized something came up that I didn't realize. Why don't you guys try to download the file and can you tell me what happened? It says the same thing. Why don't you go ahead and click open with flat? This is actually might be easier than I thought. Because if it does that, like, what? It might just like bring it right in. Wow, technology. Wow, it did it right away. Boom. So if it does that for you guys too, you're in good shape. If it doesn't do it for you, you may have to download it in one way or another. So you're going to have to find like a download suggested third-party app. So yeah, you may have to log in first. So that might be a little bit of a problem, but if you can download this, you might have to upload it. But anyway, it automatically did it for me. If you're having trouble with that, I'm going to show you guys the roundabout way. Hey, Bianca, could you try that again? I saw you were... Did it work for you? Okay, I'm going to show you guys both ways. So if it says this open and flat, that's great. If you need to download it, why won't it let me do this? This is like such a problem. You might be able to open in a new window, maybe. Okay. Try to find some place where you can download it. And it'll show up down over here in the corner. And yes, I will be reposting this video here in a second. And I'll show you guys the long way of doing it. So why doesn't everyone switch back over to my video screen? So you guys can see what's going on, particularly if you're having trouble finding how to do this. Okay, so you're going to click. Let me show you the steps again. If you end up at this and it says unable to play this file, you may have to like click around and maybe like open it in a new window. And it'll bring up this big blue download button. Or if you see any button with this like little down arrow, that's good too. That's a download button. Okay. Then in flat, you just have to create a new score. right? That. So you go new score, and then there's this little upload button right there. And then you can always go and find it in your downloads. It should be something like Blinding Lights. Okay, there it is. I found it on my list. Okay, so this part's going to be a little bit fiddly. But once you get it in and it says Blinding Lights right here, you'll be able to open it. And here it is. And then it should say 3 grand pianos. And I'm going to go ahead and play it so you guys can hear it. Probably click us in. That's it. Okay. And I actually put the whole song. And so if you're curious about listening to the whole song, I put the whole one in there. But we're just worried about the first 4 measures. And we're going to label up our first 4 measures with our chord tones and our passing tones. Everybody kind of come back. I'm looking at screens here. It looks like we have half of you guys looking at what I'm doing and half of you guys kind of going and digging through. So don't worry about flat. We'll go back to there in a second. I'll be helping you guys with those steps. But for right now, everyone come back to the call. Come on back. Come on back, John. Come on back, Ethan. Come on back, Jaden. And Ricky, why don't you go ahead and pin me? Go over to my screen and pin it. Nick, why don't you go ahead and pin it too so you guys can see me nice and big. Camden, why don't you go ahead and pin me so you can see me nice and big. Good. All right. Here we go. Okay. Our very first note for Blinding Lights is a D. Our first chord is a D minor. And by the way, if I go, do you guys remember the shortcut for adding a little text on there? It's Command E. So I'm going to go Command E, and it's going to put a little thing, and I can put D minor. I'm going to label these chords. Our second one was A minor. Our third one, whoops, why didn't that take A minor? C major. You can even hear that. It's a nice, and our last one's G. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to have you guys label chord tones and passing tones. Okay, let's just use the chat right here. Let's use the chat right here. Our first note is D. Our first chord is a D minor. Is it a chord tone or a passing tone? Oh, we're kind of mixed here. Okay. Our first chord is D, but our first note is D. I'm asking you guys a little bit of a trick question. And this is actually a chord tone. Now, a lot of you guys probably thought it was a passing tone because it didn't fit in with these notes under here. But D minor can be in more than one octave, if that makes any sense. So I could write D minor here, but I could also, that's also a D minor, D, F, A. So D definitely is there. So you have to kind of go in really carefully and read the notes of each one. So D, because it's part of D, F, A, is a chord tone. Okay, second note, CT or PT? It's the same note, everybody. Good, chord tone, because it's a D and it's a D minor. It's literally the name of the chord. So it's a chord tone. Okay, our third note is a C. Okay, D, F, A. Is that a chord tone or a passing tone? PT, very good. Our fourth note is a D. We're still on the chord D minor. Chord tone or passing tone? Very nice, Bianca. Chord tone. Aiden's got it. Anna's got it. Layla's got it. Nice. We're on chord tone. Our next one is E. Layla says passing tone. Aiden says passing tone. Allie says passing tone. You are correct because our chord is D, F, A, and we have an E, which is not part of the chord. That is a passing tone. Our next, which one is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our sixth note is A. Our chord is D minor, D, F, A. Chord tone or passing tone? Very good. Ooh, we're kind of a little more mixed results this time, but it's resoundingly a chord tone. Okay. Next note is C. Our chord is D, F, A. Chord tone or passing tone? Good. You guys notice that this is a skill that we are practicing. It is a passing tone, and we're getting better each time. Okay. I have a new chord. The chord is A minor. If you know what notes are in A minor, obviously A is in there. Go ahead and type those notes in. What notes are in A minor? What notes are in A minor? If you have if you're playing poker and you have 4 of these, you're winning. Good. A, C, E. A, C, and E. Good. Those are the notes right there. All right. My next question is this a chord tone or a passing tone? That's a D. It is a passing tone. Man, maybe Max Martin wrote this line. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to go on fast forward here. First note's a passing tone. On the second measure, our second note is the same note. Passing tone. Okay. Our third note, chord tone or passing tone? That's a C. Chord tone. Good job, Aiden. Good job, Allie. Chord tone. Back to D. Chord tone or passing tone? We already saw the answer twice. Good. I see a lot of PTs. See a lot of PTs happening right now. You are correct. Is next one. We're on an E. Chord tone. Good. All the way down to an A. Again, we're on fast forward right now. It's an A minor. I see an A right there. That's a chord tone. Good job, Ricky. And then we have a C, which is A, C, E, chord tone. Okay, I'm going to pause right there. Your goal is to try to get the first 4 measures of this done. So 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, if you want to do it for extra credit, that's cool. What you would do is when you're done, you can go ahead and screen capture, right? We've been practicing screen capture a lot. Just go ahead and boop, screen capture something just like that. Upload the thing. If you're having trouble screen capturing, but you have Google Classroom on your phone, you can always take a picture. Some of you guys are still having trouble with this. Stay on the call though, everybody. Hang tight. I want to show you one thing. One thing. And I want to play you guys this passing tone. That's what the chord sounds like right there. Super weird. But after that, if you feel like you're ready, you can go ahead and pop off and go and work.